We will go ahead and get started. Happy Friday. My name is Jordan Eller. I'm one of the community services managers here. We also have Miss Jean Onesi, one of our community services manager. The John Decker is on vacation, so it'll be us today hosting you. My first update is about our rates. We are excited to know that we have received back both service code 113 and service code 904. Those were the two final service codes we were waiting for from DDS. So it's my understanding that accounting will be getting those rate letters sent out to those providers after today's billing cycle. So if you have any questions about that or you don't receive a letter by early next week, you can reach out to your community services specialist. Or if you're not sure who your community services specialist is, you can always reach out to myself, or Christine Hobbs is our fantastic office assistant in community services, and she can also be of assistance. Zach, do you mind putting Christine Hobbs' email address in the chat, just so if folks need to get updates on who their specialist is, they know who they can talk to. One just announcement, we do have our advanced behavioral support home and community crisis community home vendor forum. That's our EBSH and CCH vendor forum. That is going to take place next Tuesday. We're going to do that in person. Vendors were requesting to have an in-person meeting, so we'll be doing that in person here at the regional center in our biggest conference room. So, that will be from 9:30 to 12. If you did not get the link and you're a CCH or EBSH provider, please let me know in the chat and I will make sure that you get the link today. And then I know,
someone is asking if all 113 homes receive an increase. It would depend on their rate and the benchmark, right?
That's correct. That is correct.
So no, we don't, not all will receive a rate increase. And so you won't get a rate letter if you didn't receive the increase. So if you think you should have received an increase and didn't get a rate letter, then reach out, like Jordan was saying, to your specialist.
Thank you, Jean. Any other questions on that from folks today? Okay. And then Jean, I know you have some additional updates about vendor forums, so I'll let you have the floor.
Oh, yeah. So we have set up a number of vendor forums to talk about specifically. John will be meeting with the different vendor groups to talk to specifically about the rate adjustments. So I just want to review. I'll just go through the list, and if you need an invite or whatever, you can contact Christine Hobbs if you haven't already received one. So for adult day services and employment, we're doing that vendor forum on July 21st from 11 to 12. For behavioral services and early intervention, we're doing July 20th from 1 to 3. Independent living services, August 9th from 11 to 12:30. Residential, July 28th from 11 to 12. And transportation services, August 3rd from 9 to 10. And if you don't, like I said, you can reach out to Christine Hobbs for those invites.
And Jean, what was the residential date again? I apologize.
July 28th from 11 to 12.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sorry, I put it in chat, but is there one for SLS specifically, or is that?
I missed that. If we have one, I have to go back and look. I missed that if we have one. I don't know.
Yeah, so we can look into that, and then next Friday at coffee, we'll let you guys know. I definitely know it won't be before next Friday. And then I believe next, right, Jean, we are going to have Miss Rima, our deaf and hard of hearing specialist, give an update regarding a survey she's been working on. So we'll give Miss Rima the floor.
interpreter was not expecting this. Hold on just a second. I need to
No problem. Thank you for your help.
make this a bit larger. Still kind of small. I'll try my best. Okay, go ahead, Rima. Hello. I am Rima, the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Coordinator here at Alta Regional Center. Expect an email pretty soon in regards to a survey. It's just about general information. Wanted to know more about you as vendors, seeing if you maybe have a staff that is fluent in sign language, if there's interest in wanting to expand services in which you provide to deaf and hard of hearing clients. Let us know how we can be of best support to you as vendors. So that way we can develop and resource and support more of our deaf and hard of hearing clients.
Yeah, and this is Jean. That survey will be going out, I believe, through our MailChimp or whatever it is that we always send the surveys through. So look for that survey and please respond to it. Rima's ready to go to assist our clients who are deaf or hard of hearing and to really try to enhance the services that we have for them and their really assist vendors, case managers, any provider, family, and assist our clients in being heard and getting their needs met through their IPP.
Agreed. Yes, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know at this time we have our home community-based services, right? We have the validation and the remediation plans that have been going on. We've had Miss Cindy Lay on the past couple of times in the past month to answer any questions. I believe, is she on with us today as well? Cindy, are you here? No, she's not here today. Okay. Okay. And so does anybody have any questions that me and Jean might be able to field those? And if not, always know that you can reach out to Miss Cindy Lay for specific questions. Zach, do you mind putting her email in the chat and her phone number just one more time so folks have that? And of course, as always, know that you can reach out to your community services specialist, right? For any questions you may have as well. Any vendors want to bring up anything about that? Right. And that's okay. And so then next, Jean, I think we were just maybe wanted to open the floor if anybody had questions about alternative work services. I did want to let you guys know, and Jean will kind of take this, but we had reached out to CCL. We had a joint meeting with them to see if they knew about any upcoming changing pins for day programs as we look at returning. They knew of no current changes. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. We'll also, if you guys are hearing anything from your LPAs, if you're hearing of any changes or recommendations, I'm assuming a lot of it is to follow our local CDC guidelines, but please feel free to let us know if you've heard anything from your LPA specific to, returning to full day program and what some of the protocols might be for COVID.
Yeah, are you guys hearing anything from your LPAs that you wanted to share with the group on protocols? There is a, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything from an LPA, but I do have a question. In yesterday's review of the budget by DDS, they made mention of remote services being able to continue after alternative services billing goes away, but that it would be through Taylor Day. And previously in these forums, we were told to submit a letter of interest if we wanted to add alternative services to our existing program designs. So I just wanted to see if the regional center had any clarity on that, if we're still doing it just as an addendum to our regular program design, and then it would be through our regular billing, or if we actually need to add a Taylor Day subcode in order to provide remote services once alternative services billing ends.
I don't know of any specific procedures in that we've set up yet. So we will have to look into that because I believe that would be a change to your program design once alternative services disappears, so to speak, and we're looking at continuing any service through a remote venue. So there, I will say, I'm certain it will be a change with your program design because it will be more of a permanent change where alternative services was temporary. So let us let us meet with John and figure out our timeframes on that because I think that's a great question and we need to plan for that.
Sure. And specifically, if we're still doing it just through a regular addendum or if we have to add the
Right.
Taylor J subcode, because that's a completely different process.
I think what my first response would be is looking at your current, what we typically do is look at your current program design. And if it needs any updating, we may make a decision to update the whole program design or just do an addendum. So I think it's going to depend on the review of your program design, if it's still current and if it's still reflective of the services you're providing. And then I think we would decide if we're just going to do an addendum or write a whole new program design. And someone was asking, is there any time frame on when we'll be hearing back about our plans? I'm assuming those are the HCBS plans. Is that Hillary Robbins? Is she there, Hillary? The
I
only
think that's
thing,
what she's referring to, though. I think that's
okay.
how I took it as well, Jean.
So I reach out to your community services and supports person, your CSS. We have our staff is looking at all those plans per their assignments and who they worked with. So do reach out to them. I think the time frame is, did we pass the time frame? I know there's the general time frame, and then when we get a hold of you and work on that, your specific plan, I don't have a time frame for you. So just reach out to your specialists and start communicating with them. Does that make sense to folks? I think. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about our alternative services. We talked a lot about it last week and with them going away, and we talked a lot about the survey will be coming out if it hasn't. John is on vacation this week, so we'll be confirming things up with him next week. And just want to see what people have been thinking. I know we've gotten some email that some programs don't believe they're going to be able to stay open with if COVID continues and there's still the limitation due to COVID protocols. So I want to encourage everybody to please complete the survey so we can start working with you on transitioning our clients. I know John talked about in October, what do you call it? Kind of like targeting most of this for October. So we're not ending up in December and January trying to plan with our clients and their services. So, and looking on all of that, knowing that when you look at your program, knowing that we're still going to have restrictions with COVID, you still have the staff shortages, and how you're going to be able to regroup your program, your services to our clients, if at all. So, our goal is to preserve and maintain the services we can with for our folks. So we want to get those surveys and really start working with people and our vendors on that. whatever assistance we can provide. But we also have our limitations too. So we really want to work as a team on transitioning out of alternative services. Are there any thoughts on that, or have you any discussion that you want to have here today? It's a quiet group.
It's Friday, right? It's been a long week, I'm sure, for all of us.
I can share some thoughts on that. I think that you stated it perfectly. COVID's not going away. We're still going to have the restrictions. We don't know if the exclusion requirements are going to remain the same going into next year. And if they are, that significantly impacts people's ability to come, even if they wanted to. So
Right.
I think given that with alternative services billing going away, like getting that answer to my question is really key. And if the department does go the direction of having everything remote go through the Taylor Day subcode, then I think that actually benefits us financially because it's not your regular rate that you're billing. The Taylor Date rate tends to be higher because it's a more like compacted service. So if that direction is an option, I think that that would help those of us who are trying to budget ahead based on current enrollment with rates. If we're billing back to traditional, are we going to make it? Like having that question, I think will help to answer that.
Okay.
Hopefully, if we can get that financial relief by being able to bill at a higher rate if we're doing virtual services for somebody that can't come in because they're excluded due to COVID. It still doesn't fix the lack of full attendance, but it's better than billing at our regular ratioed rate when we're providing a one-to-one remote service, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I think we really, yeah, there's a lot of work, well, a lot of planning that we're going to need to do together with this. And always, we're, as you guys are, so are we, always trying to really look at the services our clients are receiving. And with so many folks enjoying the alternative services, if there's a replacement for that, or if there's another option, we will surely be looking at it. So it's not going to be fun. I don't think it's going to be fun, but we have to be as realistic and creative as we can.
Yeah, and thank you, Catherine, for sharing. We'll definitely get some more information before coffee next week, and so we can be letting folks know because we know how important that could be for your planning. Sincerely. Mm-hmm.
In figuring the rate, there's some, I'm not familiar and haven't worked on the Taylor Date services and figuring the rate, but we'll get clarification for that too. When we're looking at that being a possibility, we'll clarify how that TDS rate is set up. Any announcements or anything?
I have this isn't specific to alternative work services ending, but I do know that yesterday in our provider advisory committee, they had talked about that some clients and staff were coming back from camp. Have you guys heard of any successful camps or some good camp stories? Anything that you guys have heard of? People enjoying or?
We scrambled. Kudos to some of my staff. I want to say Christina and Kate and Nicole and them. They scrambled to get these vendorizations in, along with working with other regional centers where the camp was in their area. So it was intense work, and I hope there's a positive result and outcome with all the upfront work that went into it for our clients. No stories, no camp stories. No.
Okay, well, thanks. And for today, folks, those were kind of the updates. We definitely wanted to provide extra time if people had questions or they had announcements or updates. Like we mentioned, John is on vacation this week, so those were majority of our agenda items. Does anybody else, we'll throw that out there again, have anything they'd like to bring up to the group?
Hi, this is Stephanie. I was reminded that we did have a good camp story. One of our clients went back and she was happy to tell us that she got first place, and I can't remember what the activity was, and then she got second place in something else. So I was filling in for one of my drivers. So on the ride, we normally have her playlist playing, which is rather eclectic, but this time we spent most of the trip talking about camp. She was just so excited, so she went to a week. So that was really cool.
That is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm so excited for our clients and our families that this is a resource for them again. We all
I
need.
have a story.
Okay, great.
So our residential unit received an SIR report for one of our clients that went to camp, and that this client had so much fun, didn't want to go home, and on the way transporting back to her day program, they had stopped at a Carl's Jr. She went into the restroom and she locked herself in the restroom because she didn't want to come back because she was having so much fun. So they had to call the police and have her come back, but she apparently was having so much fun. And
A testament, right? To how great it
Exactly.
is.
yeah,
Well,
it
we
was
all
super
know
cute.
how important vacation is for each and every one of us, whether that's camping or a staycation, right? It's so important for all of us. So I'm so excited. And I love hearing these stories. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
All right. Did we just wind down?
I think so. If there's nothing else, it doesn't matter if it's about camp or anything else. If you guys have anything to share, please feel free. Otherwise, we'll hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll definitely get some more updates for you guys regarding the questions you had here today from Mr. John Decker. So we'll have some more info for you next Friday. I'm also hoping to clarify more if, with regarding CCL and the day programs. I know at our CCL meeting, they did say that they were going to pass that, just that information up the chain, that the alternative service POSs would be ending, and that majority of our day programs were going to be looking at how they were going to be returning to work and how many clients they could serve and all of those things. So they were going to be bringing that up to their management to see if there's anything they could do to provide us guidance. So.
All right.
Well, thank you guys all so much. Happy Friday. And thank you all for joining us, vendors and staff. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Friday.
You got it, Jordan?
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.